Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. You know the deal. It's Nadeska here with DJ Akademiks and Star. Nice hat. Repping Brooklyn this morning. It's good.
Uh-oh. You shaking hands?
I do handshakes.
He just gave me the Russell Simmons handshake.
What's the Russell Simmons handshake?
Let me show you.
Oh, the limp? He has a limp handshake? I thought businessmen always went firm.
Hey, I don't know about Russell Simmons.
He just gave me the wet fish. Some sucker shit early. It's all good.
I've heard a lot about Russell Simmons.
But not about his handshakes.
I'm charged. Let's go.
I've heard about that too, but go ahead.
All right, so we're starting today with your boy Tekashi 6ix9ine. We know he was out in LA for a few days, said he didn't have to check in with anyone. Now there is footage of his crew getting into a brawl with a man outside of LAX. Let's take a look.
Fuck, that's what I'm talking about. And that bitch ass nigga, yeah. Oh shit. Oh, yeah.
All out fight right here today. Tekashi. Bro, it's a huge all out fight. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So now, of course, there's some people who think that this fight was staged, not sure why. But during the footage, you do hear the attacker yelling whole lot of gang shit, and Tekashi did address this later. Here's what he had to say.
Yo, how many times I gotta troll y'all niggas, man? How many times I making fun of y'all niggas, man? Y'all see my shit spinning, man. Look at my face. Still untouched, yo. Beautiful, luscious shit, man. Yo, niggas just packed some niggas out. We just fought some niggas at the airport. As soon as I get the video, I'ma upload it. Man, stop playing with me. I told that nigga, stop playing with me. Y'all can't touch me, nigga.
So, of course, after every fight, a rapper has to make a video like this. But, Ak, you spoke to him after this happened. Can you give us a little insight?
Yeah, well, I think everyone just assumed that because he didn't check into LA and he stayed there an extra day after he said he was leaving, that's why this happened. He told me in my live stream that that's not the case. He says it was an argument that stemmed from him and his friends helping a woman into the car at LAX. They also saw that TMZ, who he just did an interview with, so he just did an interview with TMZ, so there's a ton of cameras on him. The guy started getting loud for the camera, and then became a tense confrontation, and Tekashi's team just started hitting the homie. So yeah, and it erupted into the street. I just can't get why the hell he ran into it, and I still been asking.
Because they tried to get him out of the way, right? They tried to take him inside.
Push him to the back. You're the famous rich rapper. Get to the fucking back, and we're gonna get busy. We're the fucking goons. And of course, he jumps in trying to, gain a couple points. Except I don't think he connected with any punches, and he fell. So, not the best look for him. But I'm just hoping everything with him just stays safe. He's not the person, again, we just saw the video where he's like, yo, you can't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
Anybody could be touched, okay? And I was also telling him there's a difference between people who had trouble with LA. And by the way, these weren't LA people. These were Houston people that were supposedly false claiming rap a lot. We could talk about that more in a second. But look at Tekashi and look at Cardi B. Both of them are moving very different in LA. Cardi B had no problems like this. Tekashi had. So I guess we got to take whatever you want from each situation, but I think he definitely should have avoided this incident. But he looks at it as promo.
Yeah. Star, what do you think watching this footage?
Thank you for the clarity. I have a totally different perspective. This is embarrassing for hip-hop across the fucking board. I know he's your friend, so I'll try and be respectful.
No. Give it up.
And please know that I have backed out of wanting to see Tekashi's chain taken. I'm a man of a certain age. That was some silly shit and some sucker shit I said last week. Tekashi is Bozo the Clown in 2018, literally. And for all of you mousepad mobsters and keyboard killers, you're amping up the set. And that's nice, that's cute. But if we can just go back for a second with regards to the greater Los Angeles area known as Gangland. What makes it work, for the most part, the way it does is that they have an understanding of parameters. Parameters. If you violate somebody, if you fuck up somebody's money, you will definitely get that smoke. You will get a slug in the mug. You will take a dirt nap. Guaranteed. Tekashi's just running around saying, nah, 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 nah. That's what he's doing. He's not violating anybody specifically in LA. That's why nobody really moved on him. I don't wish that upon him. But this was a scuffle. This was not a fucking brawl. I think TMZ said this was a massive brawl, right?
Yeah, you're right. It could be more of a scuffle.
Please stop the fucking insanity. It was a scuffle. And as you just said, this was somebody from someplace else. This was not the Crips running down. This was not niggas from East Los Angeles running down. This is just Tekashi doing what he does. This is Bozo the fucking clown. And I can't read into this any more than that. He hasn't affected anybody in LA to the point where they want to touch him. And I have to say again, salute to Spanky OG up in the Beverly Center, supposedly looking for Tekashi. He hasn't affected anyone, just on a real level in LA. When and if he does, that's when he will take a dirt nap. And again, I don't wish that upon him.
Yeah, and according to him, he says he don't have a problem with LA, just particular rappers in LA. But again, even getting at him, and I say everything I'm saying now, I say to his face, or I say publicly on my videos. Yeah. You have 3 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, right? Why are you beefing with rappers who are dying to even get a record deal? Why the fuck are you targeting them or even taunting them? Right? They have nothing
because
to lose.
It's a sea of fuckery now. I think we'll agree on that. It's a sea of fuckery. So he's doing what he knows to do. Go ahead.
But that's where he's going wrong, right? Because also the way how he makes that video and he says, yo, you guys can't touch me. It feels like the challenge is more than to just those rappers. Yeah. It feels like he was almost offending the whole LA. Like, yeah, I'm in LA. None of y'all could touch me, period. So that's why, of course, when this video eventually happened, or this incident, we knew something was going to happen, right? Like, he was lucky to not have anything happen before this, because there was a bunch of dudes running up in hotels looking to find him.
I disagree. I'll let you finish your point, but I disagree. And no, we didn't know something was going to happen. But finish up. I want to come in before I forget my thought.
No. I think everybody knew something. I think he knew something was going to happen. And actually, when I talked to him last night, he said he knew something was going to happen to the point that when that altercation at the airport happened, he said, shit, he had to jump in. That was his reason for why he didn't just hang back behind the goons and let them do it. He says, that was his moment to kind of show people how he gets down. I was like, that was pretty stupid.
Okay.
That was pretty stupid.
3 words: money, power, respect. If somebody in LA wanted to touch him, he would be touched. The reason why we have, and I'll even call Snoop Dogg an OG, even though Snoop and I have had our issues. Just hang on a second. The reason why you don't hear Snoop talking about Tekashi, the reason why you don't hear Nipsey Hussle, who is claiming to be the voice of the West Coast, and I believe him, is because he hasn't really violated anybody in particular. He's a bozo. So I want to take it back. I don't think anybody really wants to touch him until he starts calling out those names, as you just said.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not gonna call out the local rappers' names, and I think he knows better than to like go at YG.
Exactly.
Remember, we talked about YG having a song that may have dissed him.
Right.
He says that he's spoken to YG's people, or YG has spoken to his people.
He probably called YG and said, "Are we okay, homie? Are we good?"
No. Well, according to him, he says there was no problem. Like, and that was YG's people communicating with him. But regardless, like, he's beefing with rappers who want that attention, and he's doing some of the stuff for attention, right? And when you're updating your location, knowing that everyone was paying attention more to you than the All-Star game, he's doing it for attention. I'm just hoping that it still stays at this level where this might be the most serious it gets in terms of a scuffle. Because
But he has this project on the way, so like you said, he's looking at this footage now like, cool, great promo, I'm gonna sell more records, or what?
Yeah, priceless promo. I mean, listen, yesterday I was talking to like my homies over at TMZ, which, by the way, salute to this photographer person
TMZ
who got
homies.
this.
Okay.
TMZ homies. This nigga's compromised.
No, it's called having friends.
All right,
in
come on.
You don't have friends? No? Okay. Well, they're saying, they even said it. They were like, yo, this is like the most priceless promo he could get, even though it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I think that's a fine line he's kind of treading, right? Like, he's getting the anticipation up for his album dropping, which is dropping tonight, but he's doing it in a way by taunting people and by basically putting his life on the line. I don't think a lot of people would accept that risk reward factor.
Do you want to see him get that work?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
I've already taken myself out.
No,
I'm
of
just
course.
asking you because, a lot of people on social media, are pointing to you, and I say that respectfully. So
No, of
had
course
to ask.
not. I think at some point, he's still immature. At some point, he'll cut this out. But it's going to take him a while. It's going to take him a while for him to cut this out. Because he's looking at the viral factor, right? He's not realizing it, and that's why I compared him to Cardi B. Yeah, Cardi B has had tremendous success in music thus far, but he's having pretty good success. Like, he's still running around like a SoundCloud rapper
If I can
with
also,
nothing to lose.
If I can also just add one thing, I've been going back and forth to Los Angeles since the mid '80s, and I was in a situation on 2 occasions where I was wearing a fire red jumpsuit, and some people approached me and said, "Hey, homie, where you from?" Oh no, I'm sorry. They said, "Do you know where you're at?" And based upon my naive response, they gave me what's called a pass. A lot of people get passes in LA. It's not everybody just running around, shooting the place up because you're wearing the wrong fucking colors. Again, they have parameters, and if you fuck up somebody's business, then it becomes a real problem. But at the same time, and I don't want to go so far back to Biggie and Tupac. Here's another reason why Tekashi is looked upon as a bozo from a lot of people in LA. When people get killed, high-profile people, Biggie and Tupac, a lot of business gets stopped. A lot of investigations take place. Nobody wants that over fucking bozo. That's all I had to say.
Interesting. All right, well, the timing of the footage is interesting. Like you said, his project's about to drop, so I guess we will talk about that next week, see how it's received. Let's move on to Birdman. So he is currently in the middle of a press tour. His Cash Money doc is out via Apple Music if you want to check out the rise of the Cash Money empire. So while Birdman is on his press tour, Rap-A-Lot Records CEO Jay Prince has some words for him. In a long Instagram post, he said that he respects Baby's hustle, but he's calling him out because he feels like he still hasn't paid his son Jas Prince for bringing Drake to Cash Money. Are you guys surprised that this is still going on? We've heard this complaint over and over again. Do you think he's bringing this up again because the doc came out recently?
Yeah, clearly he's doing that. I'm just saying this, like many other attempts, seem futile and ineffective, at least with Birdman. Now, that is not to really dismiss Jay Prince, because we know usually when he speaks, shit happens. And people have to really take note and things start happening in motion. But he gave a courtesy call, or what people deem as a courtesy call, which was a public message to Birdman back in like 2014 or 2015.
Right.
He did it again in 2017, and he's doing it again now. Doesn't look like Jas Prince Jr., which is his son, is getting any further in figuring out what money he's owed from Drake being signed to YMCMB.
Right.
Actually, this thing is so fucking convoluted and fucked up. Like, we don't even know whose fault is it. We don't know if it's what's the parent record label of
Universal?
Yeah, we don't know if it's Universal. We don't know if it's Cash Money, and the paperwork is all over the place. Okay, and also there's another group involved, which is called Aspire, which is Cortez Bryant, which is Lil Wayne's manager. He owns that group, which Drake was supposedly signed to initially when he got introduced. It's really
Very
all fucked up,
complicated.
but it doesn't look like nobody's getting paid.
Right.
And I guess when they can't figure out the answer, we're just all blaming Birdman.
Right.
So,
And the message is getting more personal. So start, he says, "I say this to this man they call Birdman. Don't forget you have children. I know you wouldn't want them to reap the seeds you have sown by doing bad business."
Right.
So now it's becoming a family issue. What do you think?
There is paperwork that exists with regards to this legal matter. It's a legal matter for big money. What I saw was lost earnings, and what might possibly be added to this case is potential lost earnings. Sometimes you can assess things by what you didn't make, but then you can also, again, tag on things by what an artist will make in the future. So this could be a legal matter worth about $10 million or more. So I don't think nobody's going to put hands on anybody. They're going to let this play out in court. At some point, based upon the paperwork that I have not seen, I don't know if you have, there's going to have to be a settlement. Something's going to have to shift. Something's going to have to move.
And do you think addressing this publicly, like Axe said, he's done this several times over the years, is this helping or should this just be behind the scenes, dealt with legally?
Well, I don't know if it's gonna hurt or help, but you know, sometimes you can't lose face in the public. You can't just take a beat when you got fucking Birdman giving ARAV, my homie, you know, $200K off of a fucking was it Super Bowl bet? I forget.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know, just giving up $200K like there's nothing. So I think we're going to continue to see little shots in the media, but not. I don't think we're going to see any threats. That's just my assessment on it.
Yeah, I know for maybe the audience here who is watching, if you don't get this situation particularly, because I've followed this situation pretty closely. Same with the Wayne having his issues, but this situation is kind of interesting because it feels like it appears there's no paperwork. Period. There's verbal agreements. So if you don't know, Jazz Prince finds Drake, right? He tells his dad about him, which is Jay Prince, and he eventually introduces Drake to Wayne like twice. At first, Wayne wasn't rocking with him, and then he did. But anyway, it was a verbal agreement when Drake signed that Jazz Prince was supposed to get a finder's fee in the terms of a percentage.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like there's any contracts or paperwork that say that. Drake knows that agreement existed verbally. So Drake is rounding with Jazz Prince that he should get paid. Because there's no contracts, everybody's just taking the money and they're not like trying to pay this guy for, again, lost earnings and all that. They're not trying to pay.
All right, so the paperwork I was referring to my understanding, I haven't followed it like you have, what was Drake's original contract, and then he did a new contract. And I think that's what the report is talking about. Drake's new contract knocks out the old contract. I mean, I'm not saying the exact legal terms, but Drake's original contract with YMCMB is the one that is now a thing of the past because of his new deal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, not really. Okay. So I'm trying to break it down again. Imagine you. So you're Drake. I'm Jazz Prince. I find you. I see you're super talented.
Yeah, I get that about the finder's fee.
Yeah. So that's where it's at.
Right, so there's no paperwork between Drake and.
So he's chasing the money, and yes, Drake has signed a new contract, but Drake's contract isn't tied to him. That's a back-end thing where he should have a direct dealing with him and Birdman, which is Cash Money, or YMCMB, or him and this other group called Aspire. And he sued both of them, and both of them is looking at him like, there's no contracts, we don't give a fuck about a verbal contract, you're not getting no money.
Well, Drake's gonna have to make a statement then if Jazz, Jay Prince wants to get paid.
Yeah, of course.
He'll have to give a statement.
Of course, he would, and I think he definitely would. That's not snitching, man. Come on, man. Are you alluding to that might be snitching?
No.
Okay.
We're talking real money here.
Yeah, that's business.
Real money. Yeah.
And that's why he's been going at this for at least 5 years. So.
Okay.
All right, so elsewhere in Birdman's press tour, he told Wrap Up that Carter 5 is finally coming this year. He says, quote, I think it's going to be the biggest album of 2018, but he did say that the timeline is up to Wayne himself. What are the odds that the Carter 5 drops this year?
Let me just say, excuse me. Let me ask you first: will the Carter 5, when it gets released, will it be considered old material? How long has he had that in his possession, Birdman?
I was just about to say that. Like, music is moving so fast now.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to Got Money from the Carter 3. That shit sounds like decades old. This was supposedly recorded like 3 years ago. One of these like millionaire guys, Marsha Crelly, apparently has a copy of it. So, and apparently that is the final version, or maybe they added or put more songs on.
I think it's Martin Shkreli, isn't it, Martin?
Yeah, Martin Shkreli. What did I say?
I think he said Marshall.
He's a scumbag.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah,
scumbag.
Fuck that guy.
So basically, like, yo, it's old shit. And I'm thinking at this point, like, we want Wayne to release music, like, officially, but we might hear that shit. It might sound garbage because we're judging it on a current, this shit sounds dated. You get me? Like, I'm not gonna lie, we heard old records from him and T-Pain, and they just put it out. And they sound dope, but it would sound even better if it was released in, like, 2007. You get me? So, I don't know. Birdman's completely lying here, though. He's not.
You don't believe it at all? No chance?
Yo, he said it for the last 3 years. He was like, yo, it's definitely coming out this year. And Birdman has a way of, like, kind of deflecting when he's asked these questions in the interview. He's a great dodger. He always says, it's up to my son. but your son keeps getting on stage saying, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You know what I mean?
Fuck you, Dad.
Right? So, and you got to read between the lines of Birdman. When he says, yo, we'll drop it anytime it's up to Lil Wayne, he means whenever Lil Wayne wants to drop it and I get all the proceeds, let's do it. But if Wayne wants to get paid properly, oh yeah, we're not doing it. We're not doing it.
If the flow is similar to what we heard a couple weeks ago with Joel Santana and Lil Wayne, it might be some heat there.
Yeah. But that's a little bit different because when we're thinking about album, at least for me, I'm thinking about songs.
Okay.
And if you see how songs have changed within the last like 5 years, like if you make a song that's hot in 2015
right.
or shit even 2013, most likely now it just sounds dated. Yeah. So we'll see. But of course,
There you go.
he's a great lyricist. So
And he records a lot, so there's a chance he could go back and change things. We never know. But it's probably not coming in 2018.
I'm wondering when the people, because I even did a little poll when I posted this clip on Instagram. I said, do you guys even care about it at this point? I think people just want Wayne to get paid. I don't even think people are clamoring for Carter 5. At some point, it gets the detox effect. Like,
Any chances, I mean, I have not been following that detail, any chances of Birdman and Lil Wayne squashing shit and doing business again? Or is there just too much bad blood there?
well, I hear they're friends. Seriously, I hear they're friends, and I hear they see each other frequently.
Okay.
Like,
I have not heard that. That's what I'm asking.
yeah, and Birdman has admitted that too. Like, they supposedly record out of the same studio.
Oh, okay.
So again, it's a weird dynamic, and I think that's why when, like, say a Rick Ross steps up for Wayne, at times he looked funny when he said something about Birdman, then Birdman was like cool with Wayne the next week. So again, I don't know. I don't know what to make about their personal relationship. In terms of business, they're gonna have to do business because the court did not approve for YMCMB to be separated from Cash Money, and they jointly own YMCMB.
Right. Okay.
Right? So.
All right, we'll see. So today's Hot or Now, we got new music from Lil Uzi and Playboi Carti. The song is called Bankroll. So they teased a joint mixtape a few months ago, and this is our first listen.
And I'm smoking on this dope, taking Xans so I can feel my face. And I look like yeah.
All right, Hot or Nah?
Let me jump in here first. Sometimes I don't feel comfortable trying to grade bars or say what's hot or what's not. I usually look at things from a business perspective. But just off of a first listen, it sounded like what used to be called a throwaway track. Just two niggas in the studio just saying whatever, the beat's flowing. I didn't hear a hit. I didn't hear a radio banger. So I don't know what that was. I'll look to you on this one.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a throwaway. Actually, it sounds like something that was recorded in a session when they did a collab track, Woke Up Like This,
Okay.
which was the banger. So it kind of has the same type of flow, same type of cohesion. So I could imagine they're in the studio, they probably make a bunch of tracks, they pick the best one, this doesn't come out, it eventually comes out. Now, this is not even on iTunes, so I think the producer kind of put this out.
So I guess it's fair to say nah.
No. Here's the thing. Funny enough, just because the audience likes repetitive music, this shit might take off. I'm serious. It might take off. Because it's not bad. It's just, it reminds me of some other shit that I've heard already.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing. I said, what is this? Just throwaway track. That was my first reaction.
We'll see what it turns into, but it could be something.
He's
Could
right.
be something.
There's a
The last
chance.
time I said it was a throwaway track with the A$AP Rocky track, that shit, no, it was a Travis Scott joint, the Butterfly Effect.
Word.
That shit actually
But
took
in
off.
your defense, we had listened to it like one time real quick right before we got on. It just sounded like it could have been like a cut from the last album. It would have fit in there perfectly.
And technically, the label isn't supporting this. The label, they put a pause on all new Uzi music coming out, it seems. Another track drops, actually two other track dropped. One include Mood, where the producer said, yo, the label ain't clearing shit. They don't fuck with me. I'm gonna just put this out because that's the only way you'll get it, just for free. That was fire. That was a banger. But the label's not really pushing any new Uzi music right
Why
now.
do you think that is? Just
They're-
a timing issue?
Well, they're still like gaining money off that last album, in my opinion. I'm thinking they're not trying to saturate the market like that. I mean, I think they're probably taking the opposite approach to what the QC and Amigos are doing. Like, they're just putting everything out.
Word. feeling back.
Next week, DJ Akademiks track for Hot or Not?
If it's dropped next week, who knows?
If you don't give us the exclusive, I'm gonna be offended.
Well, I'm trying to drop it with a video. I definitely premiered the video on this bitch.
Okay, great.
Okay.
It'll be fire.
All right, so Drake telling TMZ that giving away $1 million in his God's Plan video is the best thing he's ever done. Let's take a look.
We give away $1 million, man.
One of the, actually the best thing I've ever done in my life, to be honest.
Dope.
Real.
How you gonna top it, man? What's
I don't know. I don't know. Just keep helping.
Yo, that shot of him over the car door.
I have to go first here. I know you said this was the best video of 2018 so far. That was sucker shit what Drake said. Best thing I've ever done. You know, I tried to not to hate on the video when we first addressed it, but you know, just giving away some money to a couple of people, and then he gave, what was it, 25 or was it 50K to the school? I forget.
I don't remember.
50K.
50K. I'm big on teaching people how to fish, showing a bunch of people how to get money as opposed to just doing a couple of little, you know, pious acts of charity to create the illusion that this was some great fucking deed. And as you said, nobody wants to hate on the video. I don't want to hate on it, but when I hear him say silly shit like that, oh, greatest thing, what the best thing I've ever done, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
$1 million.
What's that?
$1 million.
He should be giving away $10 million.
Tax free. It's a big
$10
deal.
million. $1 million is a drop in the fucking bucket, man. That's a tax write-off.
How much is the most you've given away?
The most I've given away to charity?
Yeah.
400,000.
That's a lie.
Really?
Excuse me?
Is that a
Excuse
fact?
me?
That's a fact?
Did you do this for some other reasons or just
that
out
was
of the
a couple
kindness
years
out of
ago.
your heart?
Which charity is that? We gotta figure.
No. Hear me
What
out.
Stott Foundation was
I
this?
can tell you for business reasons, when you do something like that, you can write it off and say, hey, I did this. And it's a good look by way of taxes.
So you did it for the taxes.
You goddamn right, and I'm man up to admit it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
What's the most you've given away?
the most I've given away? Shit, I gave away $5,000. That was it.
Crumbs. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. Well,
Crumbs.
I didn't get a $7 million radio deal when you had it to give away 400.
17.
17 million? All right. So when you get 17 million, I get you. Right?
And the money is gone. I don't know where it is. I stashed it and I don't know where it is.
Give it
Donate
away to
all of
taxes.
it, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You could do that then. You're not giving away 400,000 now. Okay. I give away as much as I can, but like I gotta give credit to somebody who gives away $1 million. And I mean, I guess if we're pocket watching, yeah, he made, according to Forbes, $95 million last year. So yeah, 1 million isn't much, and also that money was from the label. That was the budget for the song. So I guess if you're looking at it like that, but in terms of what you said, teaching people how to fish.
Teaching people how to fish, teach the whole fucking block. Teach people in the projects as a collective how to get money, as opposed to going to the projects and giving away turkeys.
Yeah, it's just that it's so funny what they rap about and the way to actually move in business is sort of contrary, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you gotta look at some of even the donations that were like given out. Like most of them were people who were in tight situations. Yeah, you could teach them how to fish, but it's not gonna stop them from getting evicted from their crib for this month because they didn't pay rent the last 3 months. You get me? Also, he donated a couple like vehicles to like a couple like group homes and stuff like that. You gotta give credit for that. You know what I mean?
Again, I don't want to.
What would have impressed you?
I don't want to quote unquote hate, but just to watch him say best thing I ever did as he steps into a fucking a foreign car with the doors flipped up.
I thought that.
Fuck out of here.
I thought that was the angle we were gonna go. That car supposedly cost $7 million.
You goddamn right.
Donate the whip.
That's like 1/7. But anyway, I mean, what could he have done that you'd have been like, that a boy?
You know,
That's
like
good.
found the Drake Academy where he gives financial lessons. And look, I'm with you. I think this is true. But again, if part of the rapper lifestyle is flaunting all your cash on Instagram, spending money on stupid shit, and then you're trying to teach people how to be like good at their finances, those things don't necessarily align when you're a rapper.
I will say this right now. One of the greatest gifts to hip hop, and quote me on this, is a guy by the name of Sean Combs, Diddy. He's got a school up in Harlem. Do you know about this school? A charter school? Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Do something that a lot of people can benefit by way of. Again, I don't want to shit on Drake. Yes, it was a good video. You say great video. But come on, just breaking people off with a couple of racks, a couple of bands, and people are crying. It's cute for the moment.
Money
but,
for after-school activities, right? Doesn't that count for something? That
Diddy's
counts
got a
as an
school up in
investment.
Harlem, and you hardly hear people talk about it. I think that's a more credible approach. And even though there's no video from what I've seen about Diddy, with the school, and someone else has a charter school. Is it LeBron James? I'm forgetting.
Yes, OVO, LeBron James.
Who is it? Chops
says yes.
LeBron.
Yo, we got our producer over here working overtime. He's Googling the fuck out of what Drake schools got going on.
He just knows everything that Drake and LeBron does off the top.
Hey,
but it's a feel-good video. People like it.
Yo,
so.
he could have definitely spent $1 million on fucking Ace of Spades for like him and the whole OVO goons and just kicked in the video. Instead, you know what I mean? He at least tried to give back a little bit. Again, it inspires more, and I'm pretty sure his charity work doesn't stop there. That's just what we're seeing. Most of the charity you're not gonna see, right? Like, of course, he just turned it to a video, but I would imagine that the majority of the charity shit he does, whether for tax purposes or otherwise, we're not seeing.
It's for tax purposes. Yeah. I do mine for tax purposes.
Well, if you get $95 million, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Unless you want Uncle Sam to take all that shit.
All right, so Nipsey Hussle's new album, Victory Lap, finally out. He's been putting out great mixtapes for about a decade right now. He signed this new deal with Atlantic. So he's doing the round. So he stopped by Funk Flex and did a little freestyle. Let's grade the bars on this one.
Bullets got blue tips like they crippin', nigga. F&N got 30 in it and I'm trippin', nigga. Refrigerated cup holders when I'm sippin', nigga. Fuck work, sell words, it was written, nigga. See the staples sitting from my kitchen, nigga. On the phone with Forbes asking how I did it, nigga. Snatched old girl, it's official, nigga. Always been a man on a mission, nigga.
All right, Ak, let's grade the bars.
They're all right. Let me see what I should give him. I'm gonna give him a B minus.
Okay.
I don't think this was a lyrical exercise by any stretch of the imagination. But that's not why I do listen to Nipsey when I do. So again, it was a decent freestyle. It shows that he's at least capable to get on the mic and kind of spit some bars. But it's not like he just gave us a lyrical exhibition. So B minus, which is decent.
Okay. The hater is giving Nipsey Hussle an A+. Not just for doing what others before him from the West Coast couldn't do, and this may sound like some sucker shit. I know Snoop Dogg is his OG. Snoop couldn't have done that type of freestyle, that consistent, that energized. He is the new wave. Victory Lap is the shit across the board. My favorite track on Victory Lap is called Real Big, if I can just throw that in there. A+. The hater is saying A+ on Nipsey Hussle bars. And again, I don't like to grade bars because I look at everything from a business perspective. I try to respect, people who get up on the mic and spit a hot 16 or whatever, but A+.
In comparison to Snoop, I've seen Snoop freestyle a bunch of times. A lot of times he goes over the top of the head. I don't believe Nipsey went off the top of the head right here at all. You know what I mean? So again, I wouldn't compare him. Just me personally, I wouldn't compare.
I did on some sucker shit. Pardon me.
Okay, all right. Well, because
Snoop, come on the show, nigga.
Oh yeah, you keep shit on. Listen, man, Snoop won that fade, man.
Well, we're not talking about a fade. We're talking about Snoop coming here and doing the show. Continue on. What were you saying?
Well, I wouldn't compare him to Snoop, but if you want to give him an A+, that's fine.
Okay. The album is good though.
How about you?
Definitely a great project. I guess like a B. I would say it's good. It's solid. It wasn't like super lyrical like he said, but I do really like the album. It's a great project. Nipsey's definitely big on entrepreneurship. We could see him doing something like finding a school, giving away $1 million.
Honestly, well, if you've watched Nipsey throughout the years, and by the way, Nipsey was supposed to be up here, but you know what I mean? Snoop's my man. No, it didn't work out today. It didn't work out, but Snoop's my guy. Yo, in terms of Nipsey and his album, like you could hear, I don't want to say he's inspired by like a 444, but if you follow him, and that's the dope thing about if you follow him on like social media, you've seen him open up like a Fat Burger and like
he has his own
Crenshaw.
clothing store, right?
He's always been heavy into entrepreneurship, and you hear it through his music, and he gives you the jewels of where he learned it from. He's like, y'all been learning from this person. Even now, culminating in with him signing a deal with Atlantic. So, yo, I'm super happy for him. I hope this album does what he wants to do because he had a goal in mind in terms of why he signed and dropping his album. I'm hoping it does that. But the album for sure is fire.
Yeah.
Why would you even reference 444 with regards to Victory Lap?
In terms of the business acumen,
two totally
he means.
different musical directions.
Yeah, but of course, Nipsey's a lot younger, but trains of thought in terms of
I just
business.
have him finish his point.
Because he's talking black business and black entrepreneurship, same thing that Jay-Z preached heavily. And again, what other albums have we seen recently that was preaching both those things straight down the middle?
Okay, so you're talking about business.
Yeah.
Okay, because content-wise, I don't hear nothing in Victory Lap that references
told you the content.
that's similar to 444. You even said, I think it was yesterday, that 444, Jay-Z was talking about 401k plans and prostate cancer, something.
That was clearly
What?
a joke. That was clearly like a joke.
The hater misses nothing.
No, but seriously, like
The theme is similar, not the content isn't the same. I
Nipsey's
guess.
heavy into entrepreneurship, and of course, 444 promoted that too.
And they support each other. Yeah, when he did the Proud to Pay campaign, the $100 mixtapes, remember Jay supported that. He copped, he copped tapes and stuff like that.
Of his mixed CDs.
It's that business acumen, that building wealth situation. Anyway, dope album. Hopefully we'll get Nipsey next time. And that's our show today, guys. Any last thoughts?
Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Thursday, Friday.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I was listening to Nipsey album last night a lot. I'm going to studio tonight. I'm stepping my bars up. And my content.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
I'm tired of rhyming about thoughts. I'm rhyming about black business, and I'm gonna teach in my music.
All right, Akademiks.
I don't think the younger generation wants to hear that from you, respectfully. I mean, is that a joke? You're just joking?
No. Well, sometimes you gotta teach. You know what I mean? If they want to learn, that's on them.
This guy.
Might you diss Tekashi in your upcoming project?
Oh, you already dissed them.
In your project? Yeah. We gotta hear that next week. We gotta feature that here.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Just
man.
a snippet.
Yeah, we could probably do a snippet. Tekashi know he's getting dissed.
All right, exclusive premiere next week on Everyday Struggle. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.